Alrighty, guys. This is going to be the first game in our series of the StarCraft 2 Blind Tournament. Over here, we have the Zerg. This is Raven. She has no RTS experience and has never touched StarCraft before. This, over here, it's labeled Bob. This is actually Rachel. She's playing on Chad's computer. She is playing the Terran for us today, and she has very little gaming experience, not even just RTSs, barely knows what to do. So we're going to sit here and watch and figure out if they can see what they're doing. We've got a rally point set already. This is pretty default over here. These things kind of set themselves up, but people are still trying to figure out what to do. I'm going to open up our production tab and take a look. It seems like Rachel has figured out how to build SCVs already, which is, let's be clear, massive. She's got a worker lead already because she has figured out how to create units. The Zerg are a little bit more complicated, and they have these larvae that you get that you can morph into workers. Raven hasn't really figured this out yet, but she needs to click on these and then make units from them. This little bit of a gap might cause a problem in a second. We're going to see if she can figure out what she's doing. I'm deafened and can't hear any of the conversations that are going on in here, but I imagine that the Discord talk is going a little crazy. Raven still can't figure out what to do. This is tough. This is tough. This might be worse than we thought. We're seeing her still at 12 workers. Rachel looks like she's made some units, but they are not doing anything at all. She's got 2 workers standing here at the gas geysers trying to harvest, but she doesn't know that she needs to build a building to do that. Might take her a second to figure out the build refinery button. Raven, still unable to produce workers. This might be tougher than we thought. We're going to sit here for another couple seconds, and if they don't have any significant movement in the next, we'll say, minute or two, we'll make a decision about how much help we can give them, just so we're not sitting here doing nothing actually forever. Raven needs to click on these larvae, and I think if she clicks on the larva, she'll kind of figure out what's going on. She's moving this overlord around a little bit. She's trying to figure out how these gas geysers work. Figuring out how Vespene geysers work, I think, is going to be one of the harder things that we do during this tournament. People figuring out how to... Oh, it looks like Raven has figured it out. She started making workers. This is a big deal. If she can figure out how to assign them to the crystal over here, to these mineral fields. Oh, okay, hold on. Rachel's figured out how to build a command center. So she's building a second command center in her main thing, which isn't particularly great because it means that anything that's harvesting here is going to harvest from these mineral fields. But it's better than nothing, you know? I mean, Raven has figured out how to build an extractor. Okay, she's going to start stacking up some gas here in a second. Oh, she's canceled it. Oh, she hit the wrong button. Oh no. Oh, she's upset about that one. She's building another command center. Wait, hold on. It's the only building she knows how to build, so she's going to build a bunch of them. Let's go. This is very funny. Supply depot is one of the most important things that a Terran needs to build, and I think it's going to take her a second to figure out that she needs to build that to unlock anything. If she takes some time to start reading, Rachel could figure out that she needs to build a supply depot to build her barracks. Right now it's grayed out, so she can't. But it tells you what you need to build, so we're hoping that's going to come on. Oh, look at this. Raven has fully saturated a geyser already. This is a big deal. It means she's going to have a bit of a gas stockpile. So theoretically, okay, she's doing it again. She's got another one. She's going to get all of her gas right away. This means that she could build some pretty strong units eventually. Rachel's still not understanding how she builds on a geyser. She's taking... There she goes. There she goes. Right. We're watching it in real time. We're seeing it real time. her discover how to build these refineries and get this geyser running. That means she's not going to be behind too bad on... Oh. Okay, hold on. Maybe she hasn't figured out how to build it. A supply depot. Okay, she's online. Here we go. Oh, and we got the spawning pool going up also. Okay, all right. We're in business, people. However, Raven is running out of workers. She hasn't figured out how to get people to mine yet. It might take her a second to get to that point. She also isn't spending her minerals building more units. They both have a stockpile of minerals, though, so it should be fine for a little bit. Engineering bays going up. All right. Rachel has come out very strong with the 3 command centers here. She's got more material on the board than Raven by a lot. We're 6 minutes in, and nobody's built any offensive units yet. I think that we're getting there. I think that Raven is going to start doing something that she's got the spawning pool online. She's figured out that her larvae make units, but she hasn't done it again. She did it the one time and hasn't done anything since. We're going to see if she can figure it out. Rachel still kind of struggling on what to do. She started to build a supply depot and then she canceled it. That was gonna be a really big move. Okay, she's figuring out how to move units. She's got it. She's gonna go scouting now. Raven's just kind of sitting here, stacking up some stuff. She could start making queens, which would be a pretty big deal. That would be a pretty big deal for her. She needs to be building... Raven needs to build some overlords to increase her supply capacity. She's going to get pop-ups here kind of shortly that will tell her that she needs more supply. Hopefully over time she'll read some of her units. Figure that out. Rachel has built a 3rd engineering bay. But she hasn't started working on any upgrades on any of her other ones because she doesn't have any gasoline. Gas, that she'll need to get out of these geysers here. She started to build a refinery. I think that she kind of started to realize what was going on there. But she stopped for some reason. Don't know exactly why that is. Okay, Raven is the first person to get offensive units out on the board. We've got 6 Zerglings. If she can get this over to Rachel, if she can get these 6 Zerglings over to Rachel in time, before Rachel figures out how to build units, she could win the game. Okay, here they go. Wait, here they go. We've got Zerglings moving around the map. Raven's figured it out. She's on the offensive. She's got to scout out the map and kind of figure out where stuff is. I did not tell them where the other person spawns, so they have no idea where the other person is. She's also got Zergling speed already. This is a pretty big deal. She's getting her pneumatized carapace also. Let's see if she can make some queens. Making some queens is going to be really strong here too. She's getting supply locked now. It's going to start popping up a message for her that tells her that she doesn't have any more supply to do anything. She's going to realize that she needs to make overlords, hopefully, and then we can go from there. Rachel has an excessive amount of supply because she has built these 3 command centers, which is a lot. But because she hasn't built barracks yet, she doesn't have any units. Raven's getting closer. She's checking parts of the map where she thinks that Rachel could be, and I think she's getting really close. This could be something. Nope, and she's going back the wrong direction again. Very sad. Very sad. Oh, she's blocked. Okay, what's she gonna do? Does she Is she going to try to break the barrier? Is she going to try to go? Yep, there she goes. All right. Well, we'll come back to that situation in a little bit and figure out how that's going. Rachel has still not gotten her geysers functioning. She hasn't been building units. This is very unfortunate. She's got, yeah, no. Neither person has any production going on. It's going to take a second before we get some really crazy stuff going on here. We're about a third of the way through these rocks already. That's something. That's a little bit of progress. She didn't even really need to go through those rocks. She could have just walked around them. But you know what? Hey, it's something to do, I think, and I think that's kind of where we're gonna stop at here. Raven is still supply locked. She's upgrading her lair, which is a step to getting some more powerful units on the board, but she's got to look at her larva and take a second to read her units to figure out that she needs some overlords for this supply cap. It's going to take her a second to get there, but I trust that in time she'll get there. She'll figure it out. We've got a refinery going up. Okay. Rachel figured it out. She's got a refinery going up. She's got gas online then in a second, and then hopefully that'll do something. There's a barracks up also. Okay, so because Raven got stuck on this rock and Rachel had time to figure out how to build barracks, it might not be a complete sweep when Raven gets these units into her base. These 6 Zerglings are really not going to do a whole lot against 2 or 3 Marines if Rachel can move them correctly. However, Rachel doesn't really know how to play games that much. She hasn't played an RTS before. She definitely has not played StarCraft 2 before. So she might not be able to move her Marines in a way that'll keep them alive against this. But Raven has not figured out that her units have gotten through this barrier. She is still trying to figure out what's going on over here. But she figured out the Overlord situation. She's no longer supply locked. This is gigantic. This is massive. This means that Raven is going to fucking get it. She's on it. She's gonna start making more units. She's got it. More Zerglings on the way. All right. Now you've just made some Zerglings. Can you remember that you have Zerglings over here? That's important. Can we get to these Zerglings that are here? Nope. She's trying to figure it out. Over here, we still have this barracks that got done, but we haven't saturated our refinery yet. Haven't been making more workers. We're still taking some time to read, kind of look around and stuff. Raven's got these Zerglings moving. If Raven gets these Zerglings into this base, it could be pretty serious. It could be pretty serious, but she needs to do that. Rachel's got some SCVs moving around, kind of just getting some vision. That might have been a misclick, but... I suspect a little bit that there's a chance that we might see players at this level sit around and ball up forces because they're not sure how much they need to actually win any fights. And based on the way that Raven is playing, kind of sitting here gathering up all these Zerglings in this pile right here, it might be the case that she thinks that she needs more than she has right now. Players don't have vision of each other. I don't know how much they're talking to each other right now. They might be having some casual conversations, not really talking about what they're doing. But presumably Raven might not know how much stuff Rachel has built at this point, so she is being careful. Rachel's building another barracks, but she hasn't constructed a single unit out of her first barrack. Maybe constructing a second barrack will remind her that she has one, and then she'll start to build units out of it. Players have a truly obscene amount of minerals at this point. So many that I think that people would cry watching this. At least more practiced players. But in due time. We're about 15 minutes in now, and we've seen no real serious combat going on yet. We're seeing no combat units out of Rachel yet. Games of StarCraft are typically over at this point. We are hitting a game-ending time frame for most real matches of StarCraft. I'm gonna give it about another. I don't know. Actually, we're gonna leave him. We're gonna leave him. Raven's gonna figure out how to attack eventually. She needs to start moving these units around though and kind of looking for her opponent. She hasn't done any kind of trying to figure out where Rachel might be in order to attack her. And I'm not sure if it's just a nervousness issue. Maybe she's like scared she doesn't have enough going on. Maybe she does have enough stuff going on. I don't know. Hard to say. Hard to say. Rachel is currently running out of her mineral fields at her starting base. Typically, at this point in time, around 16 minutes, we see these mineral fields getting exhausted. It usually happens 4-ish minutes earlier than that because of these command centers getting upgraded to orbital commands. They call down a unit called mules that harvest faster. You typically have more workers working on them. So we'd be at a point now in a standard game where there'd be a base here. This is your natural. She'd have filled her natural base, saturated it to gather these materials, and they'd be fighting the whole time. Because there's not as much fighting going on, there is not the need to kind of build extra bases for extra minerals. She's probably going to sit on these minerals here, these 9,000 minerals, and that will probably be enough for her to win this game if she can figure out how to start making units. But we have 3 barracks now. We have 3 barracks now, and not a single marine produced. We also have no more production coming out of Raven right now. Raven has amassed a truly massive force of Zerglings here. This is a lot of Zerglings. We've got 8, 16, 22 Zerglings here. This is a devastating attack right now if she can actually manage to get any of these things anywhere close to over here, this, any of this, whatever, kill all these things, and then we could do something maybe. Rachel has figured out that her workers are no longer doing anything, so she's moved them all over here, and now has put 10 workers into the single refinery. She's got 2 over here too. Okay, she's starting to get gas. It's taking her a second to get Vespine, but she's getting her refineries up on this. We saw her do this really early in the game. About like 2 minutes, she kind of figured out how a refinery works, and then she canceled her construction. Now that we're seeing her do this, she's realizing she's getting gas from it. She can start getting some upgrades done. Raven is still kind of looking around to figure out what's going on. She's kind of moved her units around, but she needs to... Oh, she's killing the crab! She killed the crab! Let's go! First blood! First blood goes to Raven! Incredible. Incredible. That was beautiful. She did a great job murdering that poor defenseless creature, and the Zerglings are on the move again. They've tasted blood and are excited to see what's going on. Nope. Nope, they haven't. In fact, they're still going to sit there. Rachel is producing some SCVs now. So she's actually making some more SCVs, which is a good sign. She's starting to make units. She produced a couple right off the bat and then stopped. She really needs to build some defenses though before Raven gets the idea in her head that she can go kill Rachel. It's hard to say. The inefficiencies here are making me a little sad. We got seven workers in this. They're walking all the way over here to bring minerals back to this command center. It's tough. It's tough out here. Raven is making even more Zerglings, though. So we're... We take a look at units real quick. We see that Raven has now assembled 28 Zerglings. And she's got a queen as well. Which is more than plenty to find herself able to kill Rachel. Rachel is completely defenseless right now. I'm going to find myself intervening around the 30-minute mark. We're going to give it like 9 more minutes for the game to kind of naturally progress, figure out if these guys can determine what they're doing. There was some expressions that players would be kind of worried about how to play the game. Raven said that she might literally not know what to do at some points, being kind of lost. But really, that's okay. It's okay to be a little lost sometimes playing these games where the whole point is... Okay, hold on. Raven found Rachel, but she's scared of an SCV. She does not know that her Zerglings can take on these SCVs. So she backed up really quick. She saw a robot, got a little scared. Reasonable, honestly, kind of reasonable. But hopefully that means that we can see... Rachel with the Ghost Academy coming out. But no units. No units. That's a very advanced building. That lets her build some pretty strong units. But she hasn't built any yet, so I don't know that unlocking access to these stronger creatures will do her much. She is getting some infantry weapons up. She's getting a factory together. These are important, but Raven needs to come kill her before she figures out how to start making defensive units. Any kind of... whatever. It's taken a little bit of time. Okay, we got some of these Zerglings on the move. Honestly, Raven's got a heck of an army for not knowing how the controls of the game work at all. This is kind of generally what I expected some players to do, is to just figure out the first unit that they can make, and then just make a bunch of them. And theoretically, that's good enough to end a lot of games. This is enough Zerglings to kill Rachel regardless of how many units she makes at this point. I don't think that Rachel could produce, if she started right this exact second. I think that she has fallen too far behind. To be fair though, she's got 4 barracks up and a factory, so maybe not. If she figured it out right now and started making units right now in every single one of her buildings, and kept on top of that and used them actually, we could find ourselves in a situation where Rachel can recover from this. But this is a lot of Zerglings. It's a lot. We got 2 pages of Zerglings, guys. 2 pages of Zerglings. And some of these workers are working really overtime. Look at this. Look at this. Watch the way that this guy goes. He's going to come all the way down here. This poor guy. This poor guy doesn't have any benefits. He needs a union. Look, check this out. Look. Okay, he's going to grab from over here and then walk all the way back up to this place over here. He's doing his best, all right? He's doing his best. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, all right, huge moment. Rachel has built her first unit. She's built a Reaper in one of these buildings over here. This building. She's training 4 Reapers. She's figuring it out. Okay, hold on. This could be a big deal. If she starts making units, she can defend herself from this big ball of stuff. Okay. All right. She's built 2 ghosts. This is redundant. This is unnecessary and redundant. Unless you want to build some nukes. Yeah? Could be something. But you need some you need ghosts to make that work, and I don't know that she's away from ghosts. Might take her a while. She's got a Widow Mine up, but the Widow Mine needs to be activated. This is not going to work until she pushes this button. We've got... Okay, so she started using 2 of her barracks to train units. She's got a little bit of stuff. Raven knows how to kill units. She played the part of the tutorial that shows you how to kill something. So, presumably, it's just a matter of time before she tries to use this army to commit crimes against Rachel and the Terran people. But it's going to be a minute, I think. We're getting close. I said at the 30-minute mark, I'm going to check in with the players, offer a tip, and see where we're going. I think I'm going to give them a one question. I'll give one question away at 30 minutes that they both get to hear the answer to, and they both get to ask a question, and then we can figure out where we're at in our lives. The second game should go much, much, much faster than this because the players will have figured out how to attack. Like Raven at multiple points this game, basically for the last 15 minutes has been able to kill Rachel because Rachel wasn't building units effectively. But this blob of Zerglings has just been sitting here. Raven's not really scouting with them. She saw that Rachel's over in this corner, but she's taking her time to do much. But this is the content we're here for, guys. This is why we're doing the blind tournament. These first games for a bunch of players are going to be pretty slow as we sit around and kind of wait for them to press buttons and figure out how the game functions. We're seeing kind of small empire being built up. She's got these 3 command centers still that she hasn't upgraded. Take a second for that. Just a patience game. Raven's got a lot of units together. Raven's got a lot of production going on. She's figured out how to build roaches, so you know, it could be something. She's supply locked at this point. She's got the maximum amount of supply that she could have. So theoretically, she should start thinking shortly that she has enough units to attack with. This is fairly true because she has 46 Zerglings to 7 Marines and 5 Reapers, which is not a lot. It's not a lot. It's that's a force that'll die to 46 Zerglings if they were all together and defending properly, which they're kind of spread out. They're not in the right places, you know. It'll be tough. And Raven's over here still reinforcing. Her army is so massive. This is such a big force of units. And we just need her to come activate over here. And then come kill them. And that would be something. You know? But I don't know if Raven is either... She has to be scared. She has to be scared of what Rachel has done at this point. I think that she probably feels like she is not doing a whole lot and is worried that Rachel is doing more. But what she does not know is that Rachel has not been doing more. She has been doing less. And that this force is a completely devastating army at this level of play at 30 minutes. Speaking of 30 minutes, I did say at the 30-minute mark we were going to take a second to pop on over. So, hey guys, how you doing? We've hit the 30-minute mark in our game, which is totally fine. I did say that at 30 minutes I would pop in and give you guys each a question. So, Raven, do you have... You can have one question that you would get answered, and Rachel will get to hear the answer. So do you have a single question that you would like to ask? You are, in a way. You have a big army. Rachel, do you have any questions? Do you have one question? You do have people working, so your SCVs are your workers, and they're gathering minerals down in the second portion of your base, and they're walking them up to give minerals back to your command centers that you have in your top area. You can train more soldiers, but you do not have supply. You are supply locked. There is a building called a supply depot. They are on your workers. Your workers can build buildings. Correct. All right. And that's going to be all the help I will be providing. Enjoy the rest of your match, and we'll see how it goes. I await the conclusion of this epic game. To double count on that, Raven asked if she was doing anything right. To which, obviously, I told her that she had a very large army, because she does, in fact, have an exceptionally massive army for the current state of the game. Rachel was trying to figure out how she gets more supply. She thought that she had accidentally trained all of her workers to be soldiers, and that they were not doing anything. She was not understanding how these guys, these SCVs, were getting her minerals, so explain that for a second, and also how to get more supply. Which it seems that she has done, and she is now amassing more soldiers. But Raven needs to get a little confident here. I did have a correct assessment there, that she was nervous, that she felt like she wasn't doing enough, and that was why she wasn't attacking. But now that she has this army amassed, she needs to go use it, you know? This was not a problem I was anticipating. Was player figuring it out first, and then getting scared that they didn't figure it out first. Raven has also taken a bit of hint off of the supply, so both of the players could hear my answers there. So Rachel knows that Raven has a pretty significant army trained up, and is working on kind of fixing her current defense issues. We're seeing how it works out, though. Raven needs to get it together. She needs to get more confident in herself. This is so many units. It's a truly devastating army, and she's just scared. She's so scared for no reason other than to be scared. I wish that I could do more for her. I wish I could rescue her from her paralyzing fear, but in fact we cannot. Alas, we will wait until these two finally decide to figure out how units kill each other. At the 40-minute mark, I will prompt Raven to try to murder Rachel, just in the spirit of ending the game, because 40 minutes is, at this point, players in the game at a normal game would have exhausted every resource on the field. This is an almost unheard of amount of time for a game to have lasted. But that's why we're here, isn't it? That's why the blind tournament's going on, so we can see these players sit here and just try to figure it out, man. I guess the game is in fact far more complicated than I anticipated for new players. I don't know that we'll have this problem with all of the players in our tournament. There are players that are more experienced with RTSs that have played Age of Empires or something of the likes that will know how to threat assess, how to kind of scout and figure out how many units an enemy has, and go from there. Raven is just salt in the wound, bro. She's got a salt mine, and she is burying Rachel in it. But she hasn't started the burying process. She just needs to go do that part where she wins the game. Yeah. We're gonna give it 3 more minutes to naturally progress. I do want to make sure that we give the players full time to kind of feel out the game before I prompt them into violence. But I will be yelling at them to attack each other at that point in time. I think we're gonna have a little English style war where they all line up all their units and they just go kill each other with them. They try to, at least, but we'll see how that ends. We want to give Rachel a fair opportunity to kind of build her units because she was taking some time to figure that out. I will give them a generic kill each other. Wow. Well, I haven't been paying attention to what Raven is doing over here. She's built 3 Ultralisks. These units are very, very strong. But, you know, they're heavy, they're slow. They take a minute to get in. Raven's got it figured out. She's got a lot of really, really strong units. And she's making more. She upgraded her orbital command, so she has some abilities, but I think it's taken her a second to kind of even get to that point. She's built a lot of barracks, and she does have like some units getting built. She's up to 15 Marines now, which is a fair handful. But Raven got on top of the building military units much faster. And it's StarCraft, so everything's a military unit. Let's be honest. We're gonna see where we're at in about 30 more seconds here, but I'm gonna prompt these players to try to kill each other because this is going nowhere, to be honest with you. Actually, factually going nowhere. All right, hello guys. It's been another 10 minutes. And you're not in trouble at all, not even a little bit. No. I came here to give you guys a friendly piece of advice, which is that StarCraft 2 is a game where you kill each other. And you guys should be doing more killing each other. So I would suggest you have been ready for 30 minutes. So I have come to let you know that it is maybe time after I was giving you guys 30 minutes to try to figure it out, but you guys should start attacking each other 30 minutes ago. And I'm gonna mute again and let you guys get at it. Okay. All right. Well, the problem that we thought was the case is the case, and I don't know. That I felt like this was the most merciful thing to do. We could have been sitting here for another 30 minutes, probably, maybe. Oh boy. Oh, Rachel, kill her. Come on, Rachel. Oh, right into the grinder. Oh, it's horrible. Oh, it's so mercy, mercy. I. Uh, it could have happened 30 minutes ago. It could have happened 20 minutes from now. I don't know. I don't know. Rachel is responding. Rachel is responding and getting her units together. I'm going to give players a little bit of tips after this game to kind of make sure that we are uh, covered and handled. Okay, so now Raven needs to figure out that she needs to go up this ramp. Perfect, fantastic. She's doing it. Um, Rachel's got a bunch of her units gone. Her production buildings are still up a little bit, so there are theoretically some situations where a player might be able to come back in the situation. This is not one of those games where that's going to happen, most likely. So I'll get in and kind of talk about it for a second. And we can probably wrap this one up in the sake of time, for the sake of time. Hello, everyone. Hi. So, we are now finding ourselves in a situation where, Rachel, you're going to have a very hard time coming up. Yeah, yeah. And I apologize for that. So, you can do that. I believe that it is in the menu screen, and there should be a surrender option in there. Um, so we play these matches in best of threes because of situations like this that arise. Typically, in many games, there's a lot of strategies that can surprise players. So players will play multiple matches in order to get a fair shake for responsiveness and stuff like that. We're gonna play the rest of our matches in a second here. Uh, I'm gonna give a little bit of feedback on this game just so that way there's not another 44-minute game because ain't nobody got time for that. You guys did fantastically figuring out your units and stuff like that. I know that's a little clunky and stuff. Rachel, you could have been building units a bit more aggressively. You kind of figured out how to get your barracks up. And you did a really good job building your units once you figured out how to get your supply together, once you figured out how your supply was functioning. Next time, I would recommend building a little bit more supply and building units as much as you can, right? Don't stop building units. There were some times when you had kind of clicked away from your buildings, you were figuring stuff out, which is how a lot of these games are going to go, you know? But you can just keep building units, and then you'll find yourself in a situation where Raven did, where she just had a bunch of units sitting around and was able to use them to end the game, right? But otherwise, let's get into the next one here. Oh, Raven, you did... Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure. Yeah. Correct. Yes. Yes. So Raven, you definitely should have built another hatchery at some point. Um, in this game, particularly, you guys took a while to figure out how to build your units and stuff, which is expected. So you had a bunch of minerals sitting around. But when you're building very aggressively, you're going to run out of those very quickly. So you're going to want to build command centers or hatcheries next to the mineral deposits, so that way then you can start mining more. Correct. Yes, exactly. You can build another one and then they'll go to that place instead. Um, that being said, uh, Raven, you were doing great. You could have sent some units in to look around to figure. You did. Correct. Yeah. So you can do a little more scouting to figure out if you are strong enough to fight or not. Right. You were in a situation where it seemed like you were just kind of scared to attack because you weren't sure what was going on. You can use units to figure out what is going on and then assess your situation from there instead of just wondering what your opponent is doing. Um, and yeah,